them. That's according to a recent column on Bleacher Report. KD could become a free agent at the end of the year, and speculation is he will leave Golden State for the Knicks this summer. Durant got salty with the media when the subject was brought up last week. He's won 2 NBA titles and was named Finals MVP twice with the Warriors. But the article says the only way for him to cement his legacy is to win a title on his own. So, Rob, let's start with you.
Did you say KD was salty? I think Planners is on the phone for him.
Oh, he's pretty good with these one-liners. Do you think that Broussard is not impressed?
I've heard that 70
Chris, don't give away my stuff on TV.
At least twice a week I hear that on the radio.
What do you think? Does KD need to do this to cement his legacy?
I think he does. Deep down, Kevin Durant knows, as great of a career as he's had, the 2 championships over LeBron, right, and all of the other stuff, he knows people will never give him full credit because he joined the Warriors, who had already won a championship without him, had already won 73 games without him. So in order for you, and we saw Clyde Frazier, right, but he talked about an asterisk. I don't believe in that, but he brought up his
mental asterisk.
Right, but here's one of these all-time great players saying, well, he went to that team. How could he not win? They had already won a championship. And it doesn't take away his ability on how good he is. But you're right. There are a lot of people who just won't give him that full endorsement because they know he had a loaded deck or stacked deck. You go to the Knicks and you go and bring another player and what they have, there's some pieces, and you make a run or win a championship or get to the finals, then people would look at you and go, wait a minute, KD led this team. The Knicks haven't won a championship. The last time was 1973. Greg, sports writers were using typewriters when the Knicks won a championship, not laptops. That's how long ago it was. But if he was able to go and do that, you would have to give him his due and say not only did he get to the championship with Russell Westbrook and OKC, they got there and lost to LeBron. He went to Golden State, and if they win again this year, which we expect, he won 3 in a row, right? And say he wins the Finals MVP for a 3rd year in a row. Right. You would go, he did that. Then he took his career, went to New York, a perennial loser, bright lights, big stage, right? And got them a championship for the first time in 50 years. He would be validated. His ticket would be punched. People would say, this dude is one of the greatest players who ever played.
Well, I think they're going to say that anyway.
Yeah. Well, but I think that
last part. But I don't disagree with what you're saying, but he's all-time great, regardless.
No, he is, but it would
raise him up a level.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he has to do this, and I personally think he needs to do it for himself. I think this has more to do with Kevin Durant and how he feels and views himself because of how everybody else is viewing him. When he was in OKC and he was unable to get over that hump of Golden State and he joined the Golden State Warriors, there was pressure on him even then because they had won to make sure that they won again. Not as much pressure as it would be if he goes to the Knicks and goes on his own. And I personally don't believe he has to win a championship. Just make them relevant every year in New York. I don't think he has to win a championship. If you make the New York Knicks relevant,
which they haven't been.
The last time they were even in the postseason was 2013. And so if you make them a constant show in the playoffs and then potentially it works out and you win a championship, that's icing on the cake. He's already I don't think he has to do something like this to stamp his legacy. His legacy is already stamped and engraved. He's a great player. Everybody respects that. But what they don't respect is how he did it and how he did it and where he had to do it and who he did it with. If he continues to stay in Golden State, that's fine too. But I think for him, he needs to do this for himself because LeBron James, he went and he teamed up with Miami and D Wade and Chris Bosh, and he won. But what he did was went back to Cleveland.
Cleveland was the one that capped.
That's the biggest.
One.
He went back.
Bigger.
That's the
than
one
the
that
two
made
in Miami.
And when you think about Kevin Durant, everything.
No, I mean
that's what he said.
Everything that Kevin Durant shows us is that I got to one-up LeBron.
And he cares about the court of public opinion.
I got to one-up LeBron.
Yeah, selfishly, I hope he goes to New York with Kyrie this summer.
You just crushed all the people in Boston.
I know. I'm sorry, Boston fans. They'll still be good, right? They showed that last year. They think they don't need Kyrie. You think they don't need Kyrie, right?
I didn't say they don't need him. I said they are still good without him.
Selfishly, I would like to see KD and Kyrie go to New York and make the Knicks a contender.
That would be special.
Best for his legacy, I think, is this. Stay. Now, I don't know, is the tension in Golden State, or they just going to be doing enough to get through it this year, win this third ring, and then maybe KD's out? I get it if that's the situation. But looking from the outside in, I would like to see him, assuming they win it this year, stay in Golden State one more year. Open up the new arena in San Francisco. Right. Go for your 4th straight championship. Because all the players KD's compared to, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tim Duncan, none of them won 4 straight. Nobody outside of Bill Russell, as far as legendary individual players, has won 4 straight rings. He is competitive, to your point, with LeBron. He thinks he's better than LeBron, and I like that in KD. He wants everybody else to know and think he's better than LeBron. That is a feather in your cap, because LeBron had 4 years in Miami with a stacked team, and they only won 2. If he could say, I went to Golden State. If it wasn't for Ray Allen,
it would have been 1.
Right. If I went to Golden State and we won 4 straight, yeah, it was stacked. I get it, and even more stacked than Miami.
Come on now.
No, I get it. But still, we won our 4 straight, and maybe he would be the finalist.
But you don't always.
And then after that, you leave and go to New York. Now,
but it might be a timing thing, right?